who subscribed can join the Cyber Army.
Hello Whovians and all new viewers that are going to be joining the Doctor Who franchise as we take this next step. I am about an hour and a half away from David Tennant's first new special, Star Beast. I'm recording this bit beforehand so we can see the difference between before and after I've watched it, because I feel like I'm going to be in a much better mood once I've seen Doctor Who be good again, because it hasn't been, in my opinion, since Capaldi left. Capaldi was is my favourite Doctor. I know a lot of people don't like him, but as he gets close to the end, especially in Series 10, he is amazing. Him and Bill are perfect chemistry. Not the point of this. We're going to cut to when the special is aired and my review of it. Go! Hi, so it's a day later. Took a little bit longer to collect my thoughts on the episode. I have watched it twice now. I can say for certain I love it. Fantastic episode of Doctor Who. It feels very season 4. We're going to run through each part of the episode and I'll just give my thoughts on it. Pretty much just a review of the Star Beast at this point. So it opens up with David Tennant on a green screen. It sort of looks like a character customization screen, and people have memed the fuck out of it on Twitter.
What's gonna go wrong? Oh my god, my
We also get like shots of Donna Noble sat in her house, sort of like it's a clip from The Office. Apparently Nellie and Donna have fused now. It's not like it's the first time they've done this. They did something similar in 2005, just before they aired the new episode of Doctor Who. Was it 2005? I don't know, I can't find it. Kind of a strange opening, kind of necessary though, because even as they say in the episode, this storyline is from 15 years ago. If you are not a fan of Doctor Who, if you are a new fan of Doctor Who, you're probably not going to know what the story is if you haven't gone back and watched David Tennant's episodes. Which, by the way, why haven't you? If you're a Doctor Who fan, go the fuck and do that. Series 4 is one of the best. But after we get all this exposition and narration and all this bullshit, we get to move on to the new title sequence. Wow, I did not expect it to be that high quality. We actually have some shots other than the TARDIS, the camera just following the TARDIS. We actually get like close-ups and stuff. I loved it. The only thing I'm going to say about it is the title. The actual logo of the series doesn't look as good as it did on the promotional stuff. I think it's because it's not emitting that like regeneration energy, and I don't know, they changed some of the stuff for it and it doesn't look as nice, but it doesn't ruin the experience. It still works as an opening sequence. And then obviously once all that's passed, we're met with the first actual shot that is like diegetic to the series. We get David Tennant stepping out of the TARDIS and walking around Camden, which is very reminiscent. I've seen other people point this out as well. It's very reminiscent of The Next Doctor, which is one of the last stories David Tennant did as 10, where he just steps out, there's happy music playing, and then shit gets wild from there. It's almost the exact same thing. He steps out of the TARDIS, and then right away he's presented with a companion, and, well, I guess not, in that story it was another Doctor. This one it's just Donna Noble and Rose, which, by the way, people complain about Rose being non-binary. Go fuck yourselves. That's all I have to say. I did appreciate David Tennant's reaction to hearing Donna shout the word Rose, because obviously they've met right at the end of Series 4. Obviously, we all know it's going to be Rose Noble, not actually Rose Tyler. And in that scene, I just want to say, Donna Noble, perfect. Catharine Tate slips back into that role almost instantly. I mean, just the line of her insulting the Doctor on still wearing a very skinny suit at his age, very on brand for Donna. And then we get the revelation from Sean Temple that Donna gave away the entire money from a lottery that she won. That scene, important for context of what the character's been doing over the past 15 years, but I think it's more important what happens after. I love the fact that Donna is still missing everything, and we actually get to see it play out this time. We actually get to see her miss the event, which I don't think we've seen before. But anyway, Tennant not taking the TARDIS. They're trying to hide the new interior of the TARDIS, which wait, I love it. I love it. People come about it all they like. Those lights around spinning around that fucker, beautiful. Also, when he actually gets to the crash site, we get a lot of new stuff. So the Sonic can now draw things in midair. It's a new feature. It's never been able to do that before. But I liked it the first instance they did it because it's just basically Tennant pulling out a laptop. That's the entire equivalent. I could do that. So it's not overpowered. But then there's another instance where he uses the Sonic and it's just a bit like, we're going a little bit too far again. But we'll get to that bit when we reach it. It's not far off. There's a lot of aspects of this episode that a certain group of people are going to be very upset about. Some people who like to use the word woke. It's been twisted into something that it's not meant to be. If you were upset about a character being non-binary, or being in a wheelchair, or being a different gender, or being a different race to yourself, I think you need to go look in the mirror, frankly. Because if you're getting upset over those inclusions, why? What is occupying your mind to the point where you're getting upset over fictional characters having disabilities or different gender ideologies? Just sit the fuck down and let people be happy with what they need to be happy. How about that? Speaking of which, the first scene we really get some sort of evidence about Rose being non-binary is when there's two boys from her school. I'm using her because they use that in the episode. I assume it's she, they. When the boys come past, they dead name Rose, which I didn't pick up on at first. I just didn't understand what they were doing because I'm an imbecile. We get this sort of interaction between Sylvia and Donna, and I think it is a very accurate reaction to what family members are like around non-binary people. I don't know how to word it. There's an anxiety behind you feel like you're gonna mess something up or slip up, and slipping up is perfectly fine as long as you know to correct yourself, I guess. Sylvia is nervous about not saying the right thing, and Donna is confident in how she needs to treat Rose to make her feel accepted. I can completely understand why they made Sylvia this role, because there is always going to be that stigma from older generations, and you can see this character working to adjust themselves for the people that they love, even though they might not completely understand it. And you know what? I think that's something I've always said about these things. You don't have to understand it, you just have to respect it. A villain character that doesn't go by pronouns but just goes by the Meep, similar to how the Doctor goes by the Doctor, it sort of draws these connections to Rose and how you don't have to go by he, she, they, whatever you want. You choose your pronouns and other people have to respect that. Also, the CGI in this is fantastic. The scene after Shirley and the Doctor meet is when the unit agents, definitely going to be a spin-off by the way, open up the rocket and get infected by this cloud mist bullshit, which basically just gets them to try and hunt down where the Meep is, because they're not trying to kill it, but they're trying to save it. Whereas the Wrath Warriors, I think they were called, or Wraith Warriors, are trying to actually contain the Meep and send it to trial for murdering a bunch of people. It almost kills 9 million people in this episode alone. So if that doesn't tell you the scale of this villain, then I don't know what does. I think seeing Donna act sort of like Sylvia towards Rose is quite funny, because she is adamant that she should be doing homework rather than making toys to send to Dubai or wherever they said. But when Donna enters the shed and sees the Meep, I think it's one of the best ways they could have handled the scene, because obviously they're doing the ET thing where sat in the toys pretending to be one. Donna's stood there talking for that long that the Meep blinks and she notices, and then all hell just breaks loose. Sylvia's trying to convince Donna it's not real, even though it's hanging off her leg. And then Sean walks in, and then it's that clip from Community. I'd also want to throw in, because I missed this part out, this is my first time doing this, so I'm not great at it. The little kid that tells Rose about the crashed ship, Not fantastic acting, but as a kid actor, you're not going to get amazing results. I think it's expected at this point for them to be a little less dynamic on screen. So after Sean arrives, we get the scene of the entire family being in the living room, but they make this fantastic reveal about where Wilf is. They first tease at him being dead, which is slightly morbid considering Bernard Cribbs is actually dead now, passed about just over a year ago. I love the reveal that Wilf is actually being looked after by Kate Lethbridge Stewart, the leader of UNIT, which I didn't expect, mainly because that's those two characters from two separate eras, but also because of the role that UNIT seems to be taking at the moment. The fact at the start of the episode they just arrest a BBC presenter. Okay, this is a little bit, there's some political connotations behind that, I'd say. But the fact that we get an actual answer that he's alive, he probably will be showing up, and he's comfortable at the end of his life, I think that's the best way they could have handled this, because everybody loves Wilf. Wilf's the best.